Hi guys, it's Becky here from beckybedbug.com, and today I'm showing you how to get this beehive hairstyle that I am wearing today. To achieve this look, you are going to need a rat tail comb like this. You could also have a regular comb, although it's not necessary. I like to have one. You might need some bobby pins or curly grips if your hair is liable to fly away. And you're also going to need lots and lots and lots and lots of hairspray. I like to use L'Oreal Elnet Satin, and the variety I use is Diamond Hold. Okay, once you've got everything together, then you are ready to go. Okay, so I've got really curly hair, so I've straightened it first of all. It doesn't need to be too straight, as you can see it's still pretty curly at the bottom. Just so long as it's manageable. Just so long as it's fairly straight on the top. And then the first thing I'm going to do with my rat tail comb is just part off a section of my crown, like in a C shape or a U shape. And I want to start quite far in front, because if I start too far back, it's going to stick out backwards. And of course I want it to stick up. So I'm going to start quite far forward, about here. And I'm going to use my finger to judge where it should end. And then in just one movement, I'm going to sweep all the way around like so. There we go. And then I brush it upwards, or pull it upwards. And as you can see, it's not very much to begin with, so I'm going to get a little bit from each side, just to get a little bit extra to work with. So I'll get a little bit from that side. A little bit from that side. And this doesn't need to be neat or tidy in any way, because we're just going to back comb it anyway. And that's about perfect. So what I do is comb it upwards just to get a nice smooth background to work with. And then I can start my back combing. I use L'Oreal Elnet Satin Diamond Hold for my hairspray, and I start by spraying loads and loads and loads and loads on the back like this, just on the underside of this bit that's sticking up. There. And then again with my rat tail comb, I'm going to start back combing like this. And I really need to back comb from the roots right down to the bottom, and keep going and keep going and keep going, because this needs to be massive. And I use loads and loads of hairspray for this. Oh, and it's really good because it just combs out again afterwards. And I find with my hair, I think maybe because it's been straightened, it never gets stuck. I just keep brushing and brushing, and it comes out really easily. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that it can stand up of its own accord, and you'll look crazy at this point, like this. But it really needs to be huge, because when you start brushing it down and combing it out, it's going to flatten. So you need to make sure it's massive to begin with. And then I'm going to use my hands just to carefully shape it into that beehive shape. It doesn't need to be perfect again, because we're going to brush it out in a moment anyway. Okay, and then once you're happy with the rough size and shape of it, use your comb to very carefully, really gently brush it out. This is where it deflates massively, so you do need to be really gentle with it. The sides are where I find really difficult. I'm trying to get it to smooth off, taper down like that, rather than just have a really abrupt cut off point. I think that's the hardest part. And I always end up with a wonky beehive as well. As you can see, it's really flattened. Okay, that will probably do. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, once you're happy with it, you can give it a little spritz with the hairspray. And then again I use my hands to smooth it out, just to keep it nice and smooth and stop it getting frizzy and curly. And once you've got this shape, you can pretty much do anything with it after this. You can put it up into a French pleat, although I find that quite tricky. I still haven't quite got the hang of it. You can put it into bunches, you can put it into a bun, or you could leave it like this actually if you liked. This is kind of cool, I might do that one day. But what I like to do, just because it's really simple, is to put it into a ponytail. So I just scoop up the sides. I'm really careful when I do this not to flatten the hair, because it can get flat really easily. There we go. And just tie it up into a ponytail. Get a couple of Kirby grips or bobby pins. Got some down here somewhere. I just use a couple of Kirby grips just to secure the ends here behind my ears so they don't flap away. One final go with hairspray. Yeah, I use tons of it. Smooth it down again. And voila! Your beehive is done.